I'm Steve.
And I'm Les.
This is another episode of Tabletop Tasting, Sip, and Play. Les, what did we play?
Today, we played the Heavy Rain expansion for Heat Pedal to the Metal.
Oh, man.
Now, the Heavy Rain expansion does a few things really nicely. So it adds some extra weather conditions. It also adds a additional car to the game, a 7th car, with all the cards and player board and everything for it, so that you can now play Heat with 7 players. And I love the original game insert. It's got an extra space for an 8th car as well. So in theory, you can play with 8 players whenever the next upgrade comes out for it. But what it also does is it adds 2 maps to the game. And this map here, Japan, has these water slicks on it. And what it does is it adds an extra complexity to the game, because if you want to downshift when you're in the wet, you have to exhaust the heat in order to do that. And that one additional little mechanic I really enjoyed as we did our playthrough of it. There are also some additional car upgrades and whatnot. We did not play with those, but as far as the new map, the water slick conditions, and the additional orange car, I really enjoyed this game. Steve, what did you think of it?
I absolutely love this game. It is so much fun. At first, like the first time we actually played it, we played in episode 3 or 4.
It was episode 4 of Tabletop Tastings Playthrough and Pairing.
And I'm like, okay, how are you going to do like Formula 1 or IndyCar racing on a board game? They've done it so well.
In Heat, essentially, you're drawing a hand of 7 cards, and each of those cards have different speeds on them. And you select what gear you're going to go into, and that gear determines how many cards that you're going to play, which the value of the cards you add up, and then that determines how fast you're going to go. However, you've got to be very cautious with this, because you've got to manage heat in your engine, and if you go too fast around the corners, you've got to pay for that heat, and if you can't, your car wipes out. And there's numerous other factors you can do to heat up or cool down your car. But it's this fantastic battle of cards to really optimize your speed and make those decisions of, do I want to exhaust a little more heat and push a little harder than I have to around the corners, knowing that it's going to cost me, or do I want to conserve that energy and slow down and just give it all in the straightaways? Fantastic game. And sorry to have cut you off.
No, that's okay.
Very, very high level overview of the game Heat. But I like what this expansion Heavy Rain brought to the game, because it does bring that Heavy Rain. And just that one simple mechanic of having to burn a heat to slow down a single gear changes things huge in this game.
Yeah, and I love that, like, you come into a corner and you've got to play it just right and have enough heat to be able to make it around that corner, or else you're done. And then I love how it has the right amount of mechanics. So if you're behind, like I got ahead of you like quite a bit. Like I think I was about 12 or 13 spaces ahead.
The catch-up mechanic is really, really good.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I've got this. And then he came back.
It was so close. Like, even our game finished after 2 laps, and I overshot the very first corner huge and lost all of my heat, but I was still able to catch up and get back ahead for a little bit. You did overtake me the last 2 turns and did win it by 2 spaces, but this was such an enjoyable game.
It just makes me happy. Like, it really does. Like, the whole time I'm playing it, and I'm like strategizing and figuring out, but I've got a smile on my face because it's just so much fun.
Now, when we played this the first time in episode 4 of Playthrough and Pairing, we paired Jack Daniel's, the McLaren edition of that, with this playthrough. Steve, we upped the ante for this game. Let's go back to the bottle crack of what we introduced for this game.
Yeah. All right, let's crack her open. Single barrel, Jack Daniel's, barrel strength.
Ooh.
This is actually a really pretty bottle, by the way. It really is nice. Isn't that awesome?
That's not
beautiful.
Just pretty, but I love it.
Yeah. And it's cask strength, so 62.5% ABV.
62, that's something special. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Let's crack
it open. Let's see if we can figure out where there's some perforated edge right there. The funnest part for Les. Except he has to wait longer. All right.
Wow, this seems awful special.
It is. Well, it has to be. we got a one up from the last time. If we're going to do the expansion, you need to expand upon it.
Okay, that looks
All
like
right.
a chunky cork. Let's hear this thing.
All the way from Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Was there a pop with that? I don't know.
That was a little lackluster.
Maybe try it again.
Let's try it.
No.
So there's like no pop. So part of it is the really cool topper on it. However, it doesn't sit very far into the bottle.
There's like nothing. It is a super cool cork, though. Super cool cork.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
All right, let's get into it.
That's the funniest cork.
That is the funniest
we've
one
had so far. Man, it's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah, they do it upright.
Look at the color of that as well. It's so dark.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
Sweet caramels. Off the
Oh,
nose
that's
initially.
like immediately that's Jack Daniels, but there's some kick to it, you can tell.
So is this just cask strength Jack Daniels?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
Barrel select, barrel strength. Yeah. That's really cool.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's Jack Daniels, but it's still burning in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah. It's Jack Daniels with a kick.
Yeah, Jack
That's
Daniels
what
with
it
a
is.
kick. It's kicking.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's high octane, I think some would say.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
So there you have the bottle crack. So we have been enjoying the Jack Daniels single barrel. It's Jack Daniels, but it's barrel strength. And so if you look at the bottle, it is 62.5% ABV.
That's the percentage. Every one of those
Yeah.
percentages I thoroughly enjoy. 62 and a half. That's got some kick to it.
It
Jack
does.
Daniels with a kick.
Yeah, it's high octane, like I said before. And it's so good. So the regular Jack Daniels is good. You can drink it normal, like you can just put it over rocks, you can have it neat, whatever you want. But the awesome thing about it is because of the price of it, throw it in a cocktail. Do it in a Jack and Ginger, do it a Jack and Coke, whatever you want to do. This one just takes it up that
It kicks
next level, which
up
is
a notch.
really, I think really is what this heat heavy rain is like. It's just that next level. This has paired so well together. Heat pedal to the metal. You want to have something with a little bit of that high octane and just fun. This is a fun bottle. It's a beautiful bottle. The bottle pop is terrible.
It was one of the most disappointing corks that I've ever heard. Like, do it again. Do it again. Like, what is that?
There is no
what is
pop
that?
to it.
There's
No
nothing.
pop at all. And it's just the design.
It's
so
a
it looks
beautiful cork. It is a beautiful cork. And that is a gorgeous
Yeah, it's really
bottle.
nice. It's like its own little decanter, right?
Yeah.
But it's because of the way it pops, or the
Like, what is it? I don't, like, did you...
the lack of pop. It's just the way that this topper, which is beautiful, has been made. There's just nothing there.
It doesn't go in all the
No.
way. Well, I mean, it does, but it's not a lot.
No, it's
like-
just pop. Poof.
It's a baby. It's
A little baby pop. But the stuff inside is so tasty. It is really good.
And while Jack Daniels is one of the bottles I can always go back to, and for the price point, thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
This just, like you said, kicks it up to the next notch where
Yeah.
it's like if you're a whiskey enthusiast, you want that extra kick, and this provides that extra kick.
Yeah, it really does. And the great thing about it is that it's not that big of a difference.
Okay.
Right? But you're getting so much more. They've taken it directly from the barrel or from the cask, and that's what goes into the bottle.
Yeah, because
So
normal
they
Jack
haven't
Daniels
cut
would be
it.
like 40% alcohol,
Yeah.
right? So this is really, what is 60?
It's 62 and a half.
62. So it's substantially more to it, you know.
Yeah, so because of that, you're going to pay a little bit more. But this one here, you're only paying that little bit more. A lot of times, because they're only going to get X amount of bottles from that cask, you're going to pay a lot more for that version of it than you would for the 40% version, which is just so good.
Steve, I think we've learned a very valuable lesson.
I think we have.
And that is, if you're going to play the expansion for heat, heavy rain, you want to pair it with
Jack Daniel's single barrel, 62.5%.
My name is Les,
And I'm Steve.
and this is Tabletop Tastings.
That it is.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, the cork.
52 minutes. Okay. There's no pop. It hasn't even popped. How could you plan
Yeah.
to have something not pop?
I don't know.